Braithwaite at night. The line passes through a junction next to a spooky old quarry mine. Percy hoped the signal at the junction would be green. He didn't want to stop next to the mine, but the signal was red. He had to stop. Suddenly, he saw something. Bouncing buffers, cried Percy. His driver hadn't seen the old chimney sink into the ground. The signal changed. Percy was so scared, he steamed away as fast as he could. He slipped into the sidings and buffered up to the freight cars. Spooky, stammered Percy. Suddenly, another building at the old mine sank into the ground. "What was that?" shouted his driver. "Double bouncing buffers!" shrieked Percy. He was so scared, he lurched forward and rammed the freight car. "Naughty gnomes!" cried Percy. He steamed away faster than before, all the way back to Lower Tidmouth Station, but he knew he had to be responsible, so he carried on. "I'm not scared. I'm not scared." He waited for something else spooky to happen, but it didn't. And Sir Topham Hatt was right. The garden gnomes weren't scary at all. His driver and firemen had collected the gnomes, and Percy took them straight back to Lower Tidmouth Station.
Every year on the date of the accident, it runs again as a warning to others, plunging into the gap, shrieking like a lost soul. Percy, what are you talking about? The ghost train. Drivers saw it last night. Where? Asked Thomas and Toby. He didn't say. Oh, it makes my wheels wobble to think of it. Puh, said Thomas. You're just a silly little engine. I'm not scared. Percy knew where he was, even in the dark. Crow's Farm Crossing. We shan't be long now. He liked running at night. The rails hummed and the signal light shone green. But a broken cartload of lime lay ahead. Sam the farmer had just gone for help. Percy broke the cart to smithereens. Lime flew everywhere. He puffed quickly to the nearest signal box. Percy's driver explained what had happened. I'll see to it, said the signalman. But you'd better clean Percy, or people will think he's a ghost. Percy chuckled. Do let's pretend I'm a ghost and scare Thomas. That'll teach him to say I'm a silly little engine. Toby promised to help. Let me in! Let me in! Wailed Percy. No, no, not by the smoke on my chimney, chim-chim. I'll chuff and I'll puff and I'll break your door in. Oh, dear, exclaimed Thomas. It's getting late. Oh, I'd no idea. Oh, I must find Annie and Clarabelle. It was morning when Thomas returned. Where have you been? Asked Toby. Well, said Thomas, I knew you'd be sad about Percy, and I didn't like to intrude. I slept in the freight shed, and... Oh, sorry, can't stop. Gotta see a coach about a train.
Night came. Be careful, Stepney, advised Toby. I will, and thank you for a lovely day. I do hope I can come back again. The line can be spooky, said Mavis. Thank you for the warning. And with that, Stepney puffed away. Stepney arrived on time and made the delivery of rocks and stones for the workmen. Then he set off for home. That's when the trouble began. The fog came down. Mavis was right. Suddenly everything does look spooky. There's a signal box, called his driver. And the signal light is green. Someone must have been expecting us. But they weren't. Then they approached an unknown area. The driver made a decision. It's best if we rest here until the fog clears. What are those strange sounds? Wondered Stepney. Then the fog slowly lifted. Oh no! We're in the scrap yards! His driver and firemen went for help. Stepney was all alone, but not for long. 2 diesels approached. Got you this time, Stepney. You'll make very fine scrap indeed. Buffer 'em, Bert. Bye-bye, Stepney. Stepney looked up. Above him was a huge grabber. This engine's not for scrapping. The grabber wasn't listening. But just as it was about to grab hold of him, it stopped. There stood Sir Topham Hatt. It's a good thing I'm visiting this yard tonight. Saving you from scrap is becoming a habit, Stepney. Please stop it. Yes, sir. But I have learned something. What's that? There's no place like home. And that's exactly where you're going now. Bluebells forever! A story that will make your funnel quiver, Rusty said. A long time ago, a little engine was returning home. It was a misty, moonlit night. Suddenly, the engine lost control and plunged over the side into the swamps below. He was never found again. But many a workman will tell you that when the moon is full, they have seen the little engine trying to get home. But he never reaches the other side. When night fell, they set off. The mists were rising around the old iron bridge. Duncan whistled, and the sound echoed everywhere. Then, ahead, he saw flickering lights. His driver knew they were only insects that shine brightly at night, but to Duncan they looked like an engine. Next, his driver secretly threw a rock from the cab into the ravine below. It's the ghost! Take me back! Take me back, please! When Duncan reached the safety of his shed, he closed his eyes tightly. Spooked, are you, Duncan? Laughed his driver. No, I'm asleep. And Duncan refused to open his eyes. He did, though, when he thought his driver wasn't looking, just to make sure that he was still there. Once upon a time, the mine had been worked by the little engines, and their lines were still in place. But now everything was very rusty and overgrown. Sir Topham Hatt was most impressed, but Toby was rather scared. He was glad when it was time to go home. Sir Topham Topham Hatt's plans were soon put into action. But Toby was still worried. "I'm sure this place is haunted," he thought. "It's our turn to stay here on guard tonight, Toby." "Oh, yes, why not?" stuttered Toby. "Beware of the ghost, Toby," Thomas said. "What ghost?" asked Toby. "The old warrior ghost. Every night he lights his fire, then goes hunting. Toot toot! Goodbye." Night came. Toby looked anxiously around. Everything seemed rather spooky. Quite suddenly, he heard a strange wheezing sound. "It's the ghost!" he wailed. "What ghost?" his driver asked. "It's the old warrior. He's come to hunt me down." "Don't be so daft. We'll go and investigate." They returned quite soon. "The old warrior wants to meet you," laughed his fireman. "Can't it wait till morning?" replied Toby. "Ghosts don't work day shifts," said his driver. Toby bravely made his way. "Well, bless my bell," he exclaimed. There, in front of him, was a little old engine. "This is your ghost, Toby," said the signalman. "His name's really Bertram, but we call him the Old Warrior because he's so brave." It was a moonlit night. Henry was taking a goods train to the station by the lake. "Whenever that owl hoots, a mist rolls in," murmured Edward. "There's a legend that when the mist's about, there's a ghost about too. Take care on the old line, Henry." "Stupid bird," said Henry. "Owls, mists, ghosts. Edward's going soft at the boiler. There's no mist." But Henry was wrong. "What's that?" cried Henry. "It's an amber lamp," murmured his driver. "That means proceed with caution." "Who's there?" No one replied. Henry crept slowly forward. He stopped by a tree. It had a sign nailed to it, "Beware of the viaduct." The driver was surprised. No one warned us about that before. And look, the signal's red. And the gates are closed. And there's a fogman's coat. But where is its owner? Then they saw a light move within the station building. "Ghosts!" exclaimed Henry. "Edward was right." "Something very strange is happening," said his driver. "I think it's best we go back." "So do I," agreed Henry. A little later, the fog came down. As they approached the same area, they saw the amber light again. "Here we go," said Henry's driver. Then, unknown to Henry, the gates mysteriously closed by themselves, and the signal went red. The freight cars had seen everything, and they were spooked. "Faster, faster! There's a ghost about!" "Stop, stop!" yelled Henry. A mysterious figure watched Henry go by. Ahead was a landslide blocking the line. Henry braked hard, but the freight cars hit some of the rubble and plunged into the ravine. Just then, Henry's driver saw a strange sight coming towards them. "What's that?" he said. The fireman laughed. "That's our ghost. It's Old Bailey, the fogman." Old Bailey was very cross. "I tried to warn you about the viaduct. Why didn't you pay attention?" "We're sorry," replied the driver. "Is there anything we can do to thank you?" "I'd like to operate that old station. If you let me, I promise I won't spook Henry again." And in a little while, Old Bailey's wish was granted. "You and your station will be really useful," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Let's hear a hearty thank you to the friendliest, ghost on the island." Everyone cheered, especially Henry, who was the happiest of all.